With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 4 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
저희 방송은 다양한 언어를 제공합니다. 다음을 참고하세요. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
So sometimes I'm not as free as you are. Huh? So if you invite me to go here and there and I cannot go, don't be mad at me, huh? Don't be angry and upset or anything. Okay, I'm trying my best all the time. But the situation is not always favorable for me. This world is not my world. It's not your world either. We are in the wrong world, and we try to love this world and try to make it better. We couldn't live like everybody else. We couldn't just ignore things and enjoy ourselves and just say nothing, no problem.
Please keep watching to find out more.
Want to have a big victory? Conquer yourself by being vegan.
Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
Today's episode will be presented in English and Taiwanese, also known as Formosan, with subtitles in Arabic, Ulysses, also known as Vietnamese, Bulgarian, Chinese, Czech, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Japanese, Korean, Malay, Mongolian, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Russian, Spanish, Telugu, Thai, and Ukrainian or Uranian.那恁拜访台湾，也就是Formosa的萨基扎亚人，会当用句解这个词语，向善待恁的人表达感激之情。在萨基扎亚语的意思是多谢，我是理性。成熟的台湾，也就是Formosa萨基扎亚居民，呼吁恁努力为动物族人创造一个和平的世界，也祝福恁在进行这项努力时，好运相随，愿恁的生活充满着欢乐甲和谐。萨基扎亚族是台湾，也就是Formosa一个原住民族群。因在数百年前定居伫个岛上的东部，现此时因的社区游园主要伫个花莲县的山区。纵观因的历史，萨基扎亚人展现出足大的决心来保护因的文化遗产。2007年，台湾也就是Formosa原住民族委员会正式认定因是一个独特的族群。此外，萨基扎亚语维基百科网站嘛伫个2019年成立。目前已经有1500多篇由萨基扎亚人投稿的网络文章。萨基扎亚族有独特的治理体系，强调建立共识甲社区决策。因的社会系统 经由母亲传接，而且妇女时常被指定为领导者。伫因的村落，厝是用竹仔甲马草砌起来，四周围拢种刺竹，甲围起来。萨奇扎亚人的传统服饰，包括真水的长珠仔头饰，搭配色彩鲜明的服装，每一种色彩拢传达着一种代表的意思。文化节庆以传统音乐、舞蹈甲歌曲为特色。庆祝活动亲像萨奇扎亚丰年节。主要是伫向造物主表达感谢。若是火神节，是为着纪念萨奇扎亚祖先甲族群的历史传承。聪明的观众，阮真欢喜向恁介绍。努力文化保存的萨奇扎亚人，愿恁对上帝的信心，指引恁继续行伫个正道上，也互恁渐渐完成恁个人的使命。
How to be looked up to.
Be vegan, go green, make peace, do good deed.
How to be looked down on.
Do the other way.
几十年来，青海无上师孙守者以生性教理照光世界。这位完全开悟的名师传授观音法门，帮助善心的求道者即刻开悟，一世解脱。所有开悟的名师拢修观音法门，亲像备受尊敬的世尊。释迦牟尼佛顺受者，备受尊敬的神主耶稣基督受食者，受人尊敬的名师及铁学家孔子受食者，受人尊敬的主 Krishna 受食者，受人尊敬的名师及铁学家老祖顺受者，受人尊敬的主摩诃毗罗顺受者，上爱先知穆罕默德受食者，祝伊平安。古鲁那纳克德夫吉受食者，也阁有足侪。青海无上师孙守者强调，咱只要时时思念上帝，为别人无私的奉献，遵循宇宙的法律，就会当达到人类上悬的果位，了悟来到地球的目的。伊自卑为怀，是非凡的在世典范，常常爱心援助难民、家友、灾民，甲需要帮助的人，予以物质甲经济援助。青海无上师孙守者恭敬感谢所有殊胜的各方人士、团体组织。领导人甲政府真心慈悲的源源支持，愿天堂永远保庇大家。阮身为青海无上师世界会会员，嘛为心内感激大家，表达善意，祝大家万事如意。青海无上师孙守者，应予各组织团体、媒体、政府 甲各界人士的爱戴甲表扬，获颁真侪奖项，亲像2006年的故事和平奖，这个奖亲像东方的诺贝尔和平奖同款。1994年的世界精神领袖奖，2008年摩诃秘鲁奖，2月22甲10月25拢被定为青海日、美国英语公民等等。伊卓越的领导先行，这几年来获颁无数的奖项，也得到世界人无数的懊恼。等等，因为篇幅甲时间有限，请原谅阮无多一一报出真侪其他的奖项甲荣耀。青海无上师巡守者恭敬感谢所有属性的各方人士、团体组织、领导人、甲政府，真心慈悲的源源支持，愿天堂永远保庇大家。阮身为青海无上师世界会会员，嘛为心内感激大家，表达善意，祝大家万事如意。努力为让美丽动物朋友发声的青海无上师巡守者，提倡和平爱心的植物饮食。伊阁下下宏愿，希望人类醒悟、众生皆神圣，缔造和平辉煌的巡守世界，动物甲人类王国的民众拢会当和敬和谐。伊创造广发传单，你嘛会当选择安尼生活。开设爱家国际巡守餐厅、巡守食品公司、巡守皮草产品，加无上师电视台。伊嘛写批去予有影响力的政府和媒体领袖会谈，参加气候变迁时事会议等等。无论世界人是毋是有觉醒，伊的努力影响世界人足多。叫醒人选择现代动物族人的生活方式，并奉行慈悲之道，天下才当永久太平，救地球免于气候变迁甲天灾。 青海武上师巡守者脚步遍布全球，对大众家己的土地讲经开示，解说着各种的灵性主题。今仔日阮足荣幸呈现这场看法足了解的聚会，世界意识的提升，甲迅速风潮的兴起，12集之4，就伫师徒之间节目2022年3月21日，以英语开始伫法国罗克布吕纳卡普马丹。
We pray for Ukraine or you reign.
Oh, and then another time I have 2 drivers, and the dog people went separately because at that time I had more dog people. And then he just totaled the car. Because I told him to follow, he didn't follow. He just went his own way. He's fine, but he didn't even use GPS. And then he asked the police somewhere to make a GPS for him, and then told the police, of course, where he was going. Yeah, in my car, for example, yeah? And my dogs are not that invisible, are they? Yeah, they're special dog people. They're supposed to go anonymously, huh? But then he totaled the car afterward because he didn't follow us, the first car. And that was not the only problem. He didn't even know where he was. He couldn't tell me where he was so that we could find him. But before that, I told him, okay, please, if you're lost now, just stay in that station. Stay there. We're coming back for you. No, he didn't. He left again and was lost so many hours. I've been home already all night. He was not there. Not home, but I mean, he went to the destination already. I wasn't worried about him. I was worried about my dog people. And true it was, he totaled the car. Luckily, he just had some scratches. And the dog people had no problem. No problem at that time. But because of that, you know, Hamid had liver problem and died soon afterward, but died in agony. And it agonized me even up to now. Because maybe he ruptured his liver or something, and there's no cure. And he died in such an agonizing way, and I could not forgive myself. Not that he complained or anything, but he had pain, you know, and it was such a terrible thing that I could do nothing. Because he took also karma from that guy, you know. Dogs are like that. They take some of your karma if you do something for them. Oh, my God, all night I was worried sick because he didn't even turn on the phone, or the phone was out of order or something. And then finally, I could talk to him and he said his battery was almost going out. Oh, and then I said, okay, never mind. Just tell quickly your GPS position. If you don't know where you are, just tell the GPS. Luckily, he has a GPS. So I never knew how these things work. I never knew that you could trace somebody by GPS because I don't know how to use GPS myself. I don't even know how to spell GPS. But I do know from somewhere that you can find it if you know the GPS position. Because the guy, he just totaled on the highway. He didn't even know where it was. I said, there must be a house or some street somewhere. He said, no, okay, go a little bit further and find the house. He found the house, but he didn't know where he was still. No address on the house, he said. He could not reach the foreign language, whatever. Okay, fine. I said, come back quickly and then read the GPS. And then the guy who knew the GPS stuff had to go there and get him back. Because even he couldn't go back, the car was total. That the car would cost maybe $50,000 US, but we had to sell it for 600 euros. Nobody want to buy it. Well, maybe they could use the engine and they could fix it, but that's the way they buy it in the garage, you know, they don't pay much money. And I was just glad to get rid of it, whatever, you know. We have nothing to do with it anymore. And the driver who totaled his car, I was begging him on the phone to tell him where they were so that I could go and find them and my dog people. I said, we'll not sue you or anything. We don't blame you for anything. We just want to know where my friend is. And my dogs, I just want to go and get them. And as soon as he heard that, he didn't talk to me anymore. He turned off the phone and then he drove away. He worried that we come and get him into trouble. I don't blame him, of course, but that's how people are. And I was so terrified because of my dog. People that didn't even know where they were, and his phone was almost out of battery, whatever it was. My God. You understand? Yes. So even having two drivers is not safe. Having two cars doesn't mean I'm safe on taking anything with me. And before, I was always working with Supreme Master TV or a lot of conferences and all that. And wherever I went, the camera had to go first and all the equipment, so I could hardly have room to put everything that I need. Equipments and dog, people, stuff. And then all the things that I was working on, books or whatever, I have to read and all that. I hardly had any chance to take clothes or anything for myself and for my attendants also. So whenever we go to a new place, we have to start from ABC again, go and buying pots and pans and food and clothes, and you see? And so we have to buy a lot of things and buy fence to fence in the dog people. And so I cannot just take very little money. And if I take a lot of money, but in small money, then it would be a box of small money. So I only can take big money. But big money make people suspicious. Okay, if you buy big things in the shop, then maybe you can pay like 500, and people wouldn't say much because they're used to it. And a big shop, like a big supermarket, maybe okay. Not always okay. They call the security man and bring big machines, 2-3 machines to check. That's okay also, as long as they check, yeah? But if in a small shop, and sometimes I don't even have change, not enough to pay for gasoline and all that, then they refuse to take a big bill. So we have to scrap together coins or whatever we supposed to use for the toll. Yeah. And then later when we go to the toll station, we're stuck also. I have to beg all the passerby to change some money for us to pass through. Can't even use credit cards. Do you capiche?
Yes.
It has been getting worse, Before it was easier, but recently it was terrible, terrible. Even changing houses doesn't help. Luckily, I have some money. Otherwise, in the old times, it would have been worse, eh? But the old time had good points, good advantages. Like they didn't know you. They didn't have ID card. They didn't have cameras to take your photo. You probably just had any paper, it's fine, but not your photo, so they didn't recognize you if you went out. But nowadays, they have satellite, they have camera everywhere, they have helicopter, so nowhere you can hide. That is the problem. But you still can run. They say you can run, but you cannot hide. Okay, don't hide, can run. At least have car, can travel, can run. So sometimes I'm not as free as you are. So if you invite me to go here and there and I cannot go, don't be mad at me, huh? Don't be angry and upset or anything. Okay, I'm trying my best all the time. But the situation is not always favorable for me. This world is not my world. It's not your world either. We are in the wrong world. And we try to love this world and try to make it better. But it's not that easy. Not easy for you either, huh? Not easy for me, but we're trying. Why not, huh? What else to do? What to do? There's no other choice, huh? We couldn't do anything else. We couldn't live like everybody else. We couldn't just ignore things and enjoy ourselves and just say nothing, no problem, nada pasa, You cannot, right? It's happening. Things are not very good for everybody else, and we just have to try our best to help. Yeah, even though they would tell you sometimes, we didn't ask for help. Even some of the disciples, one of the disciples, I was asking things, and I was, I'm just trying to help you here. to see where the problem is. I didn't ask for help. Wow, I thought, okay, try to remember that when you're in hell again, saying that you didn't ask for help. Not everybody is grateful. And not everyone, even spiritual practitioners, is spiritually educated. Like you heard stories from India about how the disciples are very devoted to the master, like to God himself. Things like that. You don't have that in the West. You're lucky already if they don't make trouble for you. Not to talk about respect and being devoted to you. Yeah. But sometimes I need to use Westerner because in Western countries, if you keep using Chinese or Vietnamese, it's too obvious, The two flat nose going out together in a luxury car with many dogs, and before even worse, birds. It's terrible. But it feels like I have to be devoted to them, not them to be devoted to me. Well, thank God they're doing something, but it's difficult. Sometimes very difficult to ask them to do something, as if it's a big favor from them, even though I pay at the end anyway. Like I don't pay every month, but I do pay when they go out. You know that. Even if I go in your car, I pay for petrol, for example. Yeah? I pay something. Or if I go to your house and I eat something, I pay something like that. If you try to work for me, I pay you something. Yeah? Okay. Before, when people came here to work, I told to pay them. But she misunderstood. She make them pay. Because Chinese is like this. I say, the workers, you have to pay also, yeah? Yes. Meaning even though it's our people, you have to pay them also. But in Chinese, it says something like, 那些工作人员也要付钱哈. This is exactly meaning that those workers also must pay, But they don't say must be paid like in English. You understand me? They just say 那些也要付钱. They don't say who pays. But I thought that she understood because that's the way we always did. But then she make them pay instead. Wow, I don't mind such an assistant making money for me. But it's such a opposite, such a big contradiction. But never mind, later we pay anyway, right? Anybody who I owe something, please tell me. Anywhere you work and don't make you pay, just tell me. I repay you back with interest. No kidding. You okay? Yes. Okay. Just tell everybody else if they did work somewhere and they had to pay for it. Then because they came and stay in hotel, like this hotel or the other hotel. So it seemed like they had to pay because of the hotel, Yeah. Originally, the government was not very happy that we make it into a free place. They even suggested that we have to make it like a hotel, so everybody could come in and pay for it. And then we could pay taxes to the government. Somehow, I think we managed to make it into a legal meditation place. But it took a lot of trouble, huh? Yeah, but it took a lot of trouble. Oh, my God, it's beaten me up black and blue all these years. I guess it's okay now. For how long, I don't know, but it's okay.
Russia, go home now.
What animals in factory farms and slaughterhouses are subjected to is an incredible injustice. These are innocent creatures who did nothing wrong, yet we subject them to pain, fear, and loneliness. It's an ultimate act of bullying simply because they are unable to speak out on their own behalf. I can't live with myself if I don't dedicate my life to helping to end their suffering. Josh Balk, vegan.
明仔載書讀時間節目
It's a scary thing, you know what I mean? Yes. And about the hollow in the tree, yeah? Like they shape it so that somebody can hide in there and nobody can know it. And it's very high, you know, above my street. I have to pass by that because there's only one way to go out anyway. And then they came and told me, you know, the assistant told me, I said, hey, why don't you go out and give them a tent and sleeping bag and tell them it's just more comfortable this way. You know, even though I was so traumatized, I still could manage to make a joke.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Romania is one of them. Romania Law 205/2004 on the protection of animals. Animal people caregivers have the obligation to provide basic requirements including shelter, food, water, space to move, care and medical assistance. Brutal treatment is forbidden, including abuse, subjecting animal persons to unreasonable effort, and failure to provide the basic requirements. Violation of the law can lead to imprisonment of 3 months to 1 year, a fine, and the prohibition on holding animal individuals for 1 to 5 years. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people, slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
迷人的观众，感谢恁做伙观赏今仔日的书读时间节目。世界意识的提升，甲迅速风潮的兴起，12集之事，就伫书读时间节目。刷落来是复杂甲简单的生活。墨索尼乌斯、鲁佛斯、素食者、教义选文，2集之字，就伫个智慧之语节目。焦点新闻后马上播出。请锁定无上书电视台，观赏更较侪建设性的节目。愿恁有幸蒙受上帝永恒的爱。Charming viewers, we thank you for your company for today's episode entitled The World's Elevating Consciousness and the Rising Vegan Trend, Part 4 of 12, on Between Master and Disciples. Coming up next is Obedience and Simple Living from the Teachings of Smithsonian Rufus, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom, right after Noteworthy News. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more constructive programming. May you be blessed with God's eternal love.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/BMD.